Okay, so in the last video, we focused on putting the sprite on the screen, and we changed the background color, so we hadn't done much. In this one, we're going to go through how to add keyboard input to make our player move. So let's do that now. We're going to focus on just this player file for this video, so don't worry about jumping files. If you have any open, close them, just have this one open. First thing we're going to do is create a variable called speed. This is going to determine the overall speed of the player. It's going to be an integer, and I've set it as all caps lock because usually when you tend to have an integer constant value or a value that won't change, it's constant, I usually put it in caps lock as convention, but you don't have to do it. You can have it as lowercase if you want. It's up to you. Next, let's make a method, private method called movement. And what this is going to do is going to handle our player movement. So we'll have, of course, movement. We'll have a left variable and we'll have a right variable. What these are going to do, are going to take care of the player movement. Sorry, the keyboard inputs. So let's have an flxg, which is the Flixel global object. This has a lot of useful methods and variables for us to use. One of them is the keyboard one. This keyboard method contains a few sub methods like any just pressed, any pressed, and I think the difference between just pressed, just released, and pressed is just pressed is like when you just press the button. Just release is of course when you just release, and press is you can press it and hold on to it for as long as you want. So we're going to use any pressed because we're going to have multiple keys, and for the left one we'll have the left, which is the left arrow on the keyboard, and the A key. For the right, we are going to have we're going to have right and the D key on the keyboard. You're going to use an if statement to check if it's pressed or not, because these are booleans. Sorry, these are booleans. Yeah. So let's do right first. So we're going to say if right is true, then we're going to get the velocity of the player. The velocity, is that how you spell it? Yep. X velocity, and we're going to make it speed. So the difference between velocity and acceleration, is that what it's called? Velocity, acceleration, yes. In Flixel, is velocity is that the player is moving at that constant speed that you've set in that direction. So in this case, it will be 100 pixels per, I don't know, however many frames the game is, towards the right. And then acceleration is, depending on the value I set, it will increase that velocity over time, and you can have max velocity where it will keep increasing acceleration until it hits that, increasing velocity until it hits that max velocity, and then stop. So let's do left as well, else if left, then of course you can guess that it is velocity x equals minus speed, so it's going in the opposite direction. Cool. So let's save this. Hope there are no errors. And once the game has built, in 2 seconds, that's taken. There we go. So once that's built, I'm going to do a hard refresh. Start pressing the keys, and then you notice nothing's happened. That is because we haven't added an update method. So let's do that now. The update method is what's needed in every kind of sprite or scene or whatever you want to animate. I think it comes by default with some things, with most things. So we're going to override it because it already exists inside the FLX sprite. Okay, let me just confirm that I think it already exists, but I want to show it to you. So I'm going to option click on the Mac. Let's try and find update inside here. It doesn't exist here, but I think it exists inside the object, FX object. Do you have an update? We have. There we go. So this is where it comes from. So we're overriding this, and we need to have this elapsed float because I think it uses it down the line here for something. So let's grab. Oh no, is that anyway? Whatever. Ignore me. But this is used. Oh, I made a mistake. There you go. Let's grab this. Add that to our update, and we want to run, of course, the parent update. So we're going to do super updates and pass in elapse because it needs that to calculate frames or something. Basically, what this is, right, is I'm going to show you this for a second. So by default, the game is set, here we go, to 60 frames a second. So if you do 60 divided by 1, I think that's like, what is that? Or is it 1? Hang on, how do you do division? 60 divided by, or is it 1 divided by 60? Okay, so 1 divided by 60 is 0.01 whatever. So every single, I don't know, 60th of a second, this will pass a value into here, and it will calculate, it will refresh this every single 60th of a second, and this will enable the movement. So I'm going to add the movement. Learn to spell. Just copy and paste this, it's easier. I spelled this incorrect. There you go. I'm going to add the movement method into here. So now that's saved, this is going to check every single like 60th of a second to run this function, and then it will apply these based on what, if this is true or false. So yeah, let's see if that will work. Hard refresh, and if I push right, it moves right. If I push left, it moves left. And as you can see, even though I've let go of the keys, the player is still moving. This makes sense because we have to set the player drag. So I'm going to set it in the constructor here. And what the player drag is basically the higher you set this drag value, right? So I'm going to set it to speed at the moment, so you can see. But the higher you set it, the less sliding the player will do. So if you want the player to slide on ice or something, you have it quite low. So after the character or the user lets go of the button, the player will slide for a bit before stopping. But I want it to be quite high, so I'm gonna set it a bit higher. But let me just show you what it's like with hundreds kind of stopping. So let go, and it slides for a bit before it stops. Right? I want it to stop instantly. My rule of thumb is the speed times 4. This is what I usually do for an instant stop. So let's try that. Wait for that to build, and now when I hard refresh, push button, stop. That's perfect. So I can push, hold on to it for a long time, stop, go back, stop. And that, my friends, is it for this video. In the next one, what we're going to do is add some animation. Not animation. Yeah, some animation. So once you push the button, the player faces the right direction, so it will face right in this case, and then start moving its legs, and then similarly left and start moving its legs. One thing I want you to do as homework is, can you figure out what to do if the user is pressing both the left and right button at the same time? Can you stop the player from moving at all? Because at the moment, if I do it, the character still moves, but that's not ideal. So as homework, can you figure out how to do that? And in the next video, I will go through the solution. Alright, see you in the next one.